know, here's something we all have to deal with at some point or another: unclogging a toilet. There are a few ways to get it done. All right, guys, there's nothing more fun than a clogged up toilet, right? Let's talk about the anatomy of how these things work before I show you how to fix it correctly. Now, here's the thing. When we have a toilet tank, the water comes into that and you hit the flush button, right? Whether it's a lever or button, it releases all that water in the tank and it comes down through these and comes right around the bowl, fills the bowl up, and gravity shoves it down through here. And then whatever's in this bowl is going to go through this trap and around and right out through the bottom. Now, here's the thing. There is a wax seal that seals this to the plumbing pipe that goes out to the street. Now, you have to be a little careful with that, so you never want to put hot water or anything down in here because you can melt that. And then you're going to have a leak, which means you're probably putting in new flooring, and that's a bigger project. So really what you have to be careful with these toilets, and especially older ones, is that these are really small in this trap area. And what happens is with these lower quality ones, they make this really small. And so that small trap, more likely to plug, of course. And then if you notice, this one here isn't finished back here. So you have the raw porcelain and then little drips and shards of porcelain down there. That is just asking to grab anything going through it, which means you're going to get buildup. And of course, that's going to cause a clog. So you got to be careful. Now, when it comes to putting things in the toilet, that's the first thing. You got to be careful. Any of those flushable wipes and stuff can really cause problems down here. So just make sure you know what's going in here and don't overload it. Always better to flush twice than have to get the plunger out. Now, here's the thing. If you jump online, there are a ton of different tools out there, from power plungers to battery-powered ones, even ones that are run by a little air compressor. And you know something? That can cause a lot of problems because you can blow out this wax ring. And you know something? This is porcelain, so you got to be a little bit careful. Too much force can cause a much bigger problem and much more water on the floor. That's going to be a big mess. See, here's what happens. When we grab this plunger and you've got water in here, how this works is this is actually grabbing air and water, and when you push this down, it is trying to shove this in here. But if you've got anything from a kid's toy or just too much and it's in that little crook here of that trap, what happens is that's just going to get stuck, and all of a sudden the plunger doesn't get there. What now? Then I get out my favorite tool, which is the toilet snake. Now, if you just go get a regular snake off the shelf, this metal is going to transfer all over the front of this, and that's going to mark this up, and it's going to look like you ruined the toilet. Visually, it doesn't look great. So what you can do is they put a rubber coating on the outside of this here so we don't scratch it up, so it'll look good as new. So what happens is we shove this down in here into this opening like this, and then this actually extends out like this, and then I can use this end and twist it around, and it'll grab anything in there, and then you can pull it out and get it out of there. That's the easiest way. But sometimes you've got it so jammed up with stuff in there, the only solution is to remove the toilet. So at that point, you got to turn the water off, drain the tank, get as much out of here as you can, and you're going to take the two bolts off and remove it. Then you can turn it upside down and actually fix it yourself. But here's the thing. At that point, that's when I'd probably go get a new toilet that has a bigger trap, that's less likely to plug. That's going to fix it the real way.